Hi there, it's Connie-Rae. Thanks for joining me for today's craft share. Today's craft share is this cute little Favour box. It is so tiny, but it is adorable. I have found in our supermarkets, in either Coles or Woolies, and I cannot remember which one I got them, these little bags of mini Mentos rolls. And they are this big. They are so cute. They are 2 inches in length. And I have made a little box to put them in, and they make such cute Favours. And I've made them with our Foil Frenzy specialty designer series paper, and this one is in Tangerine Tango. Is that right? Yes, Tangerine Tango. And I'm going to show you how to make them, and I'm going to be using the Berry Burst. This is one of the designs, got lines going down, and it's very pretty and very bright. So I will show you how to make it. You are going to need a piece of, sorry, my phone just went bzz at me. You're going to need a piece of 4x6 piece of cardstock, so 6 in length and 4 inches in width. You're also going to be scoring, starting making sure your arrow is going the way that you want it to go, which is for me that way. That's fine. You're going to be scoring at 3 1/4. Ooh, jumped a bit. 3 1/4, 1 1/2, 2 1/4, 3 inches, and 4 1/2. We're going to turn it around, and we are going to be scoring at 1 inch all the way up and 3 inches all the way up. Next, we're going to be cutting 2 boxes off the top end. If you can see here closely, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 little columns, and then you've got 2 larger ones. We're going to be taking the 2 tabs on either side of this off. I'll show you what I mean by cutting it away as we speak. One. 2. So you should end up with a bit of a tongue like that. And you've still got your 4 columns. Keep this because we're going to use that for a sentiment. And what we're going to do now is we are just going to bring our scoreboard back. And just on these 2 little pieces here and here, not touching the tongue, we are just going to score at 1/4 inch straight up on both sides. You can turn this over and do it, it's not going to hurt. 1/4 inch straight up. I'm being careful here because it's a very tight spot. So 1/4 inch on both those sides. And the reason I have done that, and I don't know if you can see it yet, there's a 1/4 inch there and there's a 1/4 inch on that side. And the reason that I've done that is I just need to make the tabs a little bit smaller. So we're just going to go and trim that off like such, and on the other side like such. So we've just trimmed it down a bit so that it's easier to put the little tabs in. Now we are going to cut and notch our 4 columns. Well, we've got 4 columns there, but we're not going to notch the last one. We're only going to cut and notch 1, 2, 3, and that's all we're going to. Oh, sorry, it's hard to see that, but we're only doing the 3 from the top. 1, 2, 3, and we're leaving the last one. We're not going to notch into it, we're just going to cut it. So I will do that now. Hopefully, it's pretty hard to see. Yeah, I don't know which is easier for you to see. But it's really just a matter of notching, because we want to just make sure that the ends all go together well. That's all it is. But we're only doing it for the 3, because the 4th one is going to make it look nice and tidy when we're finished. I hope you can see this. It's such a funny color because the camera sort of like, it kind of like does this in and out thing, because I think it's got too much to focus on, and it's sort of like going backwards and forwards. So that's what I mean, basically. You've got 3 tongues that are notched on either side, but the last one we're just notching. Sorry, we're just cutting straight up. We're not notching it there. And the same on the other side. It doesn't matter which side you start on, actually. I would use some sticky strip, if you've got sticky strip, if you wish to, or tear and tape, I think we should call it now, don't we? Tear and tape. Fast fuse, if you like fast fuse. I would just use something sturdy, because it is a little box, and it, you know, I mean, it doesn't need a lot of holding down, but it's just nice to make sure that, you know, if you are going to use it as a favour, that it doesn't come undone. And this is a great one for teachers, isn't it? I think teachers can make these for their kids really quite easily. Did I burnish the lines? I don't know if I did. Sorry, guys. You know what? We'll burnish them now. It doesn't matter. Now that we've done all our cutting, we can burnish them. It's not hard, because it is very user-friendly. There we go. And we'll just fold these over. See, you can do it with your hands. And I was looking at the quality of this. It was really interesting, because, you know, like sometimes you might buy, you know, like a cheap kind of foily, glittery thing, and the foil tears away. But with Stampin' Up! With this, it's such good quality, it doesn't do that. So that's kind of interesting how, you know, it just stays together. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to use Tombow, because it's easier. Let me see if I can bring you in a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. So we've got the tongue here, and we're going to just, sorry, I've got to get myself into focus here so I can see you and you can see me. So there's the tongue. We're going to fold that down and stick it. But we're only going to be sticking it probably for about a quarter of an inch, just on the edge here. Just go backwards and forwards with your glue or your Tombow or whatever, or your fast fuse, whatever you're using. And just stick it down. Hold it for a few seconds. There we go. Right, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put our little tabs all together. So, starting with the first one. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Do I? Yes, I do. I want to fold them down, and I want to put glue on the foily side. Now, the foil side, I think this is where you need a fair amount of glue, because you've got craft and foil that's trying to stick together. So make sure that you're a little bit patient with this one. But like in my test ones, they've worked fine. So just make sure that you're keeping your box in alignment. Don't worry about the neatness, in the sense where it might look like it's not going to be neat. It will be neat, but just keep the box in mind when you stick it down, remembering that it's 2 inches in length, and that's all you're going to see. So you're not going to be seeing the workings of the box. So it's nice and squared. There we go. Just holding it down, making sure it's just nice and square. And then we're going to do the next tab. Oh, I did again. That's twice I've done it. Gone on the wrong side. You need to be putting the glue on the foil side. Do I? Yes, I do. Sorry guys, it is a bit hard to see because it is tiny and it gets a little bit fiddly, but it's all good. Actually, you can probably just get yourself a little paintbrush. It might be easier to spread it with a paintbrush. The glue, I mean. No painting, but the glue on the little tabs. That way they stay in place. Because it's all even per se. So again, keeping it in alignment with your box size. You could put lip balm in here. I'm sure that, you know, you could do that. Well, I know you could do that because it would fit for sure. So we've got that last one there, and then we're just going to put another one down in here. I'm just holding it probably just to be 100% sure, that's all. There's nothing worse than doing a demonstration when it flies open on you, is it? All right, so the last one we're going to be doing is going to be, we're going to be popping the last flaps that we didn't, the last flaps that we didn't notch into are going to come down and they're going to seal those edges and make them really tidy. But before we do that, we're going to pop our little Mentos in our little box. Isn't that cute? So cute. All right, so just turn that over and put it on the craft side on both sides. And then we're just going to be folding that down just like that. And then we're going to pop it onto our box to make it look nice and neat. Just hold it down for a couple of seconds. Sorry, my big fingers are in the way and there's not enough room. And then we'll fold down that one. There we go. That's that done. Now what we're going to do is just get some sticky strip. And where's my sticky strip? I keep calling it sticky strip, and they're referring, it's actually called tear and tab. I can't even pronounce it at the moment, but yeah. I'm just going to put a little bit here because what ultimately we're doing, let me just zoom out again because I'm zoomed right in there. Okay, everything's sticking to me. All right, so we've got our little box like that. And it looks really cute. It looks like a big armchair, doesn't it? Well, we're going to turn it into a little bit of a sofa. So what I'm going to do is just pop this tear and tape, just a piece, just across the tab there. I'll just trim that off. There we go. And then just take that strip off and we are going to fold it up one more time to make it a little sofa. There you go. Isn't that cute? So that should all stick quite nicely and firmly all together. So you've got this little box with your Mentos inside. Nobody knows where it is until they open it, and they're probably going to be dying to know what's in there. And it's all in a little box like that. Too cute. All right, so the next thing you want to be doing is your sentiment and your ribbon if you wish, or whatever you choose to dress it up with. I used a ribbon before on mine, and I used a piece of my cut-off that I had. And I'm using for my sentiment just a little thank you. Okay, it's a All Things Thanks stamp set from Stampin' Up, and it's using this little, there we go, thank you. You don't have room for lots of space, that's for sure. So with one of the tabs that you cut off, just stamp it up with Memento. It says thank you, which is good because that's what you want to say. Now I've used my label punch. There's quite a few. I've got a washi label punch. I've got this label punch, and there is another label punch that's currently in the annual catalogue. And to be honest, I would get that one as well because these things are just too valuable. They just make life so much easier when it comes to doing sentiments. And sorry, I can't get my punch undone. Did I say it was going to make life easy? Yes, I did, didn't I? Oh, what have I done? I think I stuck it down the wrong way. Oh, okay. It's not going to cooperate for me now. Let me just grab my other punch, which is my washi label punch, because that will work just as well. I think I've pushed my lock in too hard and I can't get it out. So I'm just going to use the washi label punch. That's easy that way. So there you go. You don't have to do the whole thing. Just going to do a little bit. Is that straight? Yep. Pop. Get that out of the way. Get that out of the way. And if you wanted to, you could stick with the washi label and just, well, the washi label theme, and just pierce the end of it. And then you'll have the same ending as you would the beginning, per se. So the other label, you just trim it as well. And then I put some dimensionals, and I used our little dimensionals for that. I'm just looking for them because they have left the party. Right, oh, got them. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to use 2 little dimensionals on the back of this one, just the tiny ones, just to make sure that it stays in place. And I think it's really nice, you know, with your sorry, trying to do 2 things at once, with your sentiment and like your color, like at the back of it, you've got that nice color that you have on the front. So all I did was stick it on just like that. If you can see that, just thank you, stuck it on like that. And a little bit of a ribbon. I might just stick with the green, something a little bit on the thin side. I don't want anything too thick around it. Oh, the ribbon thing. Okay. Maybe it's too thin to work with. It is always, no, it's not going to beat me. I'm going to make sure that I get this ribbon done. Right. See? Not going to beat me. Okay. Now we just have to make it a bit smaller. Oh dear. All fingers and thumbs. And it is such a tiny box to work with, but that is not the problem. The problem is that I am no good with bows. And I want to get it just a little bit shorter, if I can. There we go. Oh, got it. By George. Okay, I will trim the edge off. There we go. Got the little ribbon around it. And just up here, I would put, you know, something with a bit of bling, something a bit poppy something. Did I put poppy? Oh, yeah, I put sequins on it before, but you know what? I'm just going to use one of our little shiny blingy things. What do we call them? Our shiny gems. And I think we'll just pop it. Should we pop it right here or right there? Let me see. Where do you think we should pop it? Yeah, I think there. Oh, we'll see. There we go. Oh, now the ribbon's in the way, so I'm just going to pull that ribbon across to the side a bit, because you don't need a big one on it. You just need something to pretty it up. I am doing something here. I'm not ignoring you. I am trying to make it pretty. All right, there we go. I have kind of made it pretty. All right, so there you go. There's your little box with your little Mentos in, your little thank you, and your little bow, which is kind of almost as big as the box. So it's not really all that little, but it is very hard to do a bow at the best of times, let alone a tiny incy-bincy one. So with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I know it's a little bit fiddly, but I think if you give it a go, you will really enjoy it. And if you get a bag of these Mentos, you get 12 rolls in a packet. I can't remember how much they actually are, but they do make great little Favours. And now you have a tiny little Favour box to put them in. So, or if you wish, a lip balm or anything you want really. But the little Mentos fit perfectly, and they're the mini ones. So thanks for stopping by. Thank you for your patience. If you have any questions, you can go over to my blog and you'll have the dimensions there on the blog. And also, please like, subscribe, and if you want any of the supplies that have been used in this tutorial, you can go to the description box down below and you can click on the link and it will take you straight to that product. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you soon with a new tutorial and some, hopefully, maybe a little bit bigger than this box. I don't know. I'll work on something, but something certainly creative and a lot of fun. So thanks for stopping by. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Ciao for now.